Hey, what's going on, guys? Gannon here, and today we are kicking it back a little old school with a One Piece top 10 list. Recently, in the story of One Piece, we've been diving into the flashbacks of Odin, where we're getting a lot more backstory and information surrounding the old era of the One Piece universe. And it seems to me that a common theme among the characters that are being introduced in this section, a lot of people that come from the old era are among the most honorable and respected characters in the entire One Piece franchise. And today I thought it would be interesting to create a list talking about the top 10 most respected and most honorable characters in all of One Piece. Of course, guys, as most top 10 lists are, this is going to be extremely subjective. These are basically characters who, when you look at them and their actions, they don't really commit wrongdoings. It's as though everything that they do, everything they say, their behavior and personality as a whole demands respect from other characters. You really can't help but respect and appreciate them. So with that, guys, we're gonna get right into the list. At number 10, we have Admiral Fujitora. Admiral Fujitora, from the very beginning of the story when he was introduced in Dressrosa, immediately, just with his strength alone, gained the respect of everyone around him. Nobody even for a second questioned whether this guy was Admiral level or not. Fujitora has seen some terrible things in his life, and therefore he made the decision to blind himself, basically, so he didn't have to look at these things anymore. Pretty edgy, emo, but honorable thing to do. Not to mention, Fujitora has pissed Akainu off pretty bad a couple times, but it's never gotten to the point where Akainu has had to do anything serious or really is even that mad about a couple chapters later. Like, okay, Ishio basically does stuff that Akainu doesn't want him to do, like apologize in the government's place and accept responsibility and all that bullshit. He's like, oh, don't come to any other military bases. But then Fujitora basically just goes off to Marie Joie anyway, just despite Akainu. He still has his position as an admiral. I'm pretty sure in the story he's still not able to go to any military bases. I don't know if that's still going to like play a role in anything later. I think we've just basically gone and moved on from this. But yeah, he basically totally defied Akainu and got away with it. And it doesn't seem like Sakazuki is even really that salty about it still. I think he realizes that Fujitora is an honorable and respectable man who basically 98% of the time does his job swimmingly, so there's no real reason to actually try to reprimand him or try to take his position in any way, which is the reason Fujitora is going to be coming in at our number 10 spot. Alright, coming in at number 9, we have Jinbei. Now, this comes to no surprise to anyone. If you actually go to the Wikipedia for Jinbei, the first thing it sends under his personality and traits is that Jinbei is a fishman of great pride and honor. He's also known to the world government as the pirate-hating pirate. Basically, this dude only kind of likes Whitebeard and Luffy's crew. We haven't really seen him show any affection for anyone else. It's quite obvious to everybody in the One Piece community that Jinbei lives his life with a lot of pride and honor. It's evident when you see how loyal he is to people like Luffy, Ace, Whitebeard, people who have personally helped him, who he feels indebted to. He's always more than willing to return the favor. He even has the admiration and respect of somebody like Big Mom. Being a previous member of Big Mom's crew, Big Mom saw Jinbei as a very competent, loyal, and trustworthy individual. And when Jinbei tried to leave her crew, Jinbei even looked at Big Mom and was like, oh, I'm not even afraid of you, your devil fruit abilities won't even work on me. Jinbei also has a handful of feats under his belt, and Jinbei is a character that even his enemies just really don't even speak bad about him, or really anybody in general. It's definitely a testament to how his behavior actually demands respect from others. And for this reason, Jinbei is coming in at the number 9 spot, respectively. At number 8, we have Luffy. Now, this is super obvious. The only reason Luffy isn't higher up on this list is because he isn't respected by, let's say, like everyone in the One Piece world. He's basically known as the super rookie, like the most successful among all of the supernovas. He's got the highest bounty, he's got the most feats, he's got the most media coverage, but he does lack a lot of clout. Luffy has this obvious, like, this has been totally debunked in the actual canon manga by this point, that he's not truly one of the emperors. He's got this fake title as the 5th Emperor, but you don't really see a lot of instances where you have these high-level characters, or really even the general public, like, going off about Luffy, or being like, whoa, we got mad respect for Straw Hat and all this. Luffy's greatest strength lies in his ability to turn anyone he comes in contact with basically into his ally. Mihawk said this was his greatest strength at Marineford, and it's extremely evident. Anyways, Luffy is coming in deservingly at the number 8 spot. I think the only reason he isn't higher on this list is, of course, again, because of his lack of clout. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, coming at number 7, we have Dracula Mihawk. Now, Dracula Mihawk comes in at number 7 because Mihawk is one of the few people in the One Piece universe who has a title, and it is a title that everybody agrees with. You'll see this is kind of a common theme among a couple of the other people on this list, but you guys have to understand that Mihawk is the world's strongest swordsman. This is undisputed by literally, like, anybody in the series. Like, say if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen anybody in the anime or on panel openly come out and say, like, oh, Dracula Mihawk isn't actually the strongest swordsman. It's actually insert character name here, insert character name here. No, it is basically undisputed, even among, like, the strongest, most badass characters in the verse, that Mihawk is indisputably the world's strongest swordsman. Mihawk acts with complete honor. I think we totally saw this at the beginning of the series just in his fight with Zoro alone, if you could even call that a fight. Pretty one-sided to me. But yeah, Mihawk is clearly not afraid of anybody. He kind of lives his life a little bit carefree, just strolling the oceans on a small raft like an insane maniac, cutting mountains in half. Oh yeah, let me just say here, Mihawk kind of just shows up, cuts mountains in half, and then leaves. Enough said, that's why Mihawk is coming in at the number 7 spot. Alright, number 6, we have Silver's Railay. Silver's Railay is a character who clearly just acts with complete sincerity. He's extremely polite, he's very wise, he's very respected. He is the Grand Master archetype in One Piece. He is the person who basically puts Luffy on to the next level of fighting. He knows probably anything and everything there is to know about the One Piece world. Strong, powerful characters like GARP and Kizaru even describe him as nothing short of legendary. His power and ability is underestimated by no one. He is the first mate of the Pirate King. So basically, yeah, there's not much more to say here, guys. I think, like, even as a fan base, we can agree that we all just kind of look at Railay and be like, oh, that dude's done literally nothing wrong. He's nothing short of just a great guy. And he's a total old badass, so Raylay's behavior and his reputation definitely demand respect, and that's why he's coming in at the number 6 spot. Alrighty, at number 5, we have Garp the Hero, or Garp the Fist. Garp is the original old badass of the series. If you would have asked me like 60 chapters ago, I would have said that some of his feats and his reputation has been slightly exaggerated over the years. Earlier in the story, I actually didn't believe that Garp was able to compete with the Pirate King Gold Roger himself. I thought the stories of him going neck and neck with the Pirate King was nothing short of exaggerated, or maybe all those interactions took place when Roger wasn't a complete, like, legendary badass animal. But nope, in the Rock's backstory, it's completely confirmed that Garp is in fact just a total demon. This dude fought with the Pirate King and took on the whole Rock's pirate crew, and we saw that metal-ass silhouette of him in the panel just looking like he was fighting an absolute battle to the death with his bare hands. Garp is loved and respected by basically everybody in the Marines, everybody in the general public, and he's even feared and respected by a lot of pirates. So for these reasons, Garp is coming in at the number 5 spot. And guys, Garp is setting the bar pretty high here. There are only a handful of characters in the One Piece verse who I feel like are deserving to be on top of him, because Garp is such a respected and honorable character. Alrighty, let's move on to number 4. Alright, so this might be a little bit controversial, but hear me out. I'm putting the Pirate King Gold Roger at number 4. Now, you might be thinking, like, how are you gonna do that? He is the Pirate King. He is another character in the One Piece verse with a title that is undisputed. He did something that nobody else had done. He traversed the Grand Line. He navigated basically anything there is to navigate. He found out the secrets of the world. He found the last island, and he became the Pirate King. It is undisputed that he has that title. But half the time, I feel like, guys, Gold Roger isn't exactly spoken in the best light. Now, you'll see that the characters above him are way more consistently spoken in, like, a admirable manner, I'd say. Like, you hear these stories about Gold Roger being this devil, this strong, legendary beast of a man, but there have only been a handful of instances where there are characters who speak of him, like, highly, like he was a respectable and honorable man. I think this was done intentionally early in the One Piece series by Oda as a literary device, but it's only just been recently in the One Piece story where we see a lot of the characters who actually get to interact with Gold Roger talking about him like he's such this amazing man. Odin himself said that Whitebeard was like obviously like a great pirate and a great man, but he was nothing compared to Gold Roger. But earlier in the story, you kind of just see Gold Roger as this figurehead. People kind of talk shit about him. They criticize him for starting this whole pirate era. So for that reason, Gold Roger is coming in at the number 4 spot. Alrighty, number 3, probably no surprise here, we have Kazuki Odin. Kazuki Odin is basically the whole reason that I had the idea of doing this video. This guy is loved and respected by literally everybody who knows about him. And if they don't have his respect initially, he'll just obtain it, and he doesn't even have to try to. He's a man who lives his life with such righteousness and grace. Anybody who comes in contact with Odin, they instantly gain their respect. They basically love the dude, they're so impressed with him. And, not to mention guys, that he earned the respect of Whitebeard the Great Pirate, but on top of that, the person below him on this list, Gold Roger, actually sought him out to join his own crew. Kazuki Odin was such a feared figure with such a righteous reputation that Gold Roger, the Pirate King himself, sought him out. So if that wasn't kind of an obvious explanation as to why Kazuki Odin's behavior just instantly just demands respect and just fucking takes it on a silver platter, then I don't know what is. Anyways guys, let's move on to the number 2 spot. Alrighty guys, now this is a character who everyone loves. I don't think I've met a single soul alive who has anything bad to say about this character. We of course have red-haired Shanks, the handsome bastard himself. This guy seems to be able to go wherever he wants, do whatever he wants, speak to anyone, and just kind of get away with things. For instance, one of the first times we see Shanks do any Yonko tier shit in the story is when he actually goes and visits Whitebeard's ship. He just kind of waltzes up there and tries telling Whitebeard, the world's strongest man, the great pirate Whitebeard, what to do and how to run his ship and how to handle his own fucking business. Takes out the sake, gulp, 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 pew, and just releases a Conqueror's Haki aura and just basically does whatever the fuck he wants. Shanks is raw as hell. This dude showed up to Marineford and was like, hey guys, I'm here now, let's stop the war. By the way, after all that shit you guys just went through, Sengoku, could I please have the bodies of Whitebeard and Ace? And Sengoku's like, yup, no question about it. Shanks has the respect of everybody in the One Piece universe, dude. Have you ever seen anybody talk shit about Shanks besides GARP? And the only reason GARP talks shit about Shanks is because he turned Luffy into a pirate. Shanks not only has the respect and admiration of every pirate, every government official that we've seen him come in contact with, but this dude is able to walk into Marijois and have a conversation with the 5 elders. Now, this could mean that Shanks has some underlying connection to the world government that grants him this special privilege, or it could really mean that Shanks is such a trustworthy and respected individual that the 5 elders are actually willing to talk to him in person. For these reasons, guys, Shanks has to come in at number 2, but there is one character in this series who, like, irrefutably is the number 1 most respected and honored dude just in the entire series. With that, guys, let's get to our number 1 spot. Alrighty guys, coming in at number 1, we have Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard, aka the strongest man in the world, aka the closest man to One Piece post-Gold Roger era. He's seemingly respected as an equal adversary among all the Yonko, Lin maybe even implying that she's slightly weaker than both him and Shanks. Whitebeard has never done anything in the story that is in any way unethical, is in any way dishonorable. His performance at Marineford basically sealed his place among the community as one of the most honorable and coolest old badass pirates there is. Whitebeard was born on Sphinx Island 74 years ago. Sphinx Island is a place that is outside of the world government's sphere of influence, solely because it is too poor to pay the heavenly tribute to the world government, therefore kind of making it a lawless wasteland. Over the years, Whitebeard used his fortune as an infamous pirate to financially support Sphinx Island, and even post-death, he has his first commander Marco there, holding things down, taking care of the Sphinxes, and beating up any baddies who try to come for his so-and-so fortune. Which is just pretty badass. Even in death, Whitebeard still continues to protect the things that he holds dear. Every panel you see of this dude, he's pretty much saying something cool and admirable. You also get to see how cool and awesome Whitebeard is in Odin's backstory, where even though it is clearly not a good idea for Odin to join the crew, when he sees his determination, basically gives him an opportunity to join his crew. In one of the most infamous panels in all of One Piece, it reads, "Even in death, even with half of his head blown clean away, his body refuses to yield. His mighty figure cutting swathes through his foes was truly monstrous. Over the course of his battles, he received a full 267 blade wounds. The bullets he endured totaled 152, and the cannonballs he has withstood amount to 4 10s and 6, and yet, neither that mighty body nor his pirate's pride suffered even one coward's wound." And guys, I think that panel alone really seals Whitebeard's spot at the #1 placement. I mean, this dude was really, truly just written to be that old, wise character that the whole fan base could look up to and admire his actions. For that reason, I'm going to be putting Whitebeard at the top of the list. And with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you disagree with any of my placements, if you could provide some context or evidence as to why you feel my list is wrong, leave that down in the comments. I will get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you're liking the content you see on the channel, I would be very flattered if you were to subscribe. And with that, guys, I'm going to have to see you in the next one.